So today I am going down to Williamsburg. It's about an hour and 15 away from my house. And I am going to be grabbing some fun content showing the historic triangle. I already have some stuff from Jamestown because we went down there not too long ago. But I'm going to definitely hit Williamsburg. And then I am going to hit probably Yorktown after that, but we'll see how the day goes and how things present themselves because, well, I need to plan this kind of stuff, and this was a last minute, like, hey, get out of the house to work kind of scenario. So, yeah. Area is called the Historic Triangle because you have, Williamsburg, and you have Jamestown, and you have Yorktown. So there's a lot of stuff to see here. There's a lot of stuff to experience, and if you are looking for something to do within the states, and you decide, hey, yeah, I want to go check out some historical sites, I want to take my kids to experience some of these historical sites, then you can make a trip out to Williamsburg and stay in a hotel, and you could stay in, a standard, like not in a bad way, but a more standard kind of hotel, and it has like maybe an indoor pool or an outdoor pool and stuff, and you can have that fun, or you can really go all out and you can stay at Great Wolf Lodge where they include tickets for the water park as well, and then you can spend a couple of days between going to Williamsburg and going to Yorktown, and also, heading out and, heading out and visiting Yorktown. There's a lot of stuff in Yorktown and Jamestown. Yorktown wasn't just a colonial battlefield, it's also a Civil War battlefield. So there's a lot of things to see there. There's a lot of stuff to experience there, and the views are really, really beautiful looking out over the James. And at Jamestown it's really beautiful as well because you look at that. So there's a lot of things to see in this area. Jamestown has a museum. It also has a replica for the colonial site itself, and it has replica ships there that they actually have volunteers that take out and sail. So they're fully utilized. They're really, really fun. It's really pretty. And Yorktown, it's not only a Civil War, it's not only an American Revolution battlefield site, but it's also a Civil War battle site. So, of course, almost everywhere in Virginia, it feels like there's a Civil War site. So there's a lot of things to experience in this area. I think one of the reasons why people really love going to Colonial Williamsburg is because the interpreters are dressed in period appropriate clothing. So it feels almost like you're stepping back in time, and it really adds to the experience of it. I've talked a lot about how traveling and doing new things and experiencing new things, it's not just like, oh, I see this location, or oh, I've tasted this food. It's all the small things. When you walk into an area and all of the buildings are from a few hundred years back, and not only that, but the smells that are around you, the people who are dressed, the decorations, the food that you would consume, like all of it is very themed. It really highlights all your senses and provides you with all these little nuances that really round out your experience and make it really incredible. So that's why I thought I would head into Williamsburg today, because there's so much there, and it's definitely a great place to go. And if you come down to the Historic Triangle and you're like, hey, if we're going to make this trip out to Virginia, we're going to go for like a week, then you could experience Colonial Williamsburg a couple of days. You could go out to Jamestown a day. You could go out to Yorktown a day. You could even probably hit those two places in one day. Then you're also only, if you don't mind renting a car, or maybe you drove, you're only about hour and a half drive, 2 hours at the absolute most, from Norfolk and from Virginia Beach. Norfolk has a really, really, really fun Maritime Museum, a naval historical museum, and it has artifacts from the Merrimack and the Monitor, and it has Whiskey, which is a really incredible battleship that served in, golly, I believe World War II, but not just World War II. I think it was in World War II. I'd have to double check. But the Whiskey served and was decommissioned and recommissioned, I believe 3 if not 4 times, and it served in Korea and Vietnam and just all over the place. And before I flew out to my first command, when I was active duty still, I was stationed there for about a week to kind of help with visitor counting and just guest experience and talking. And I met several gentlemen who actually served aboard that ship when it was still active, and I even met someone who, like me, was a quartermaster and was on the bridge, and he was describing to me what it felt like on the bridge when all of the guns were going off. These guns are huge. Anyway, I could do a whole thing about that, but just, it was absolutely incredible to meet these people who came before me in service of country in the Navy, and it was wonderful. It was absolutely wonderful. So, all right. All right, I'm here. I just got to the Williamsburg Visitor Center. I'm going to get myself prepped so I have all my things ready to go, then pop them for quick access into the front pouch of my bag that I have here. Yes, it's a Disney bag. It's what I'm just calling my park bag, or my travel bag. So, all right, let's head in. Here we are. This is what the main entrance looks like. It's quite beautiful and quite peaceful. I'm actually a really big fan. And then right over here, there's a map of the space. So if you're curious about just where anything is, I mean, you get maps and stuff when you go in, but this is kind of cool to see something tangible like this. This is the start of William and Mary, and then this is Duke of Gloucester Street. They call it Dog Street, and this is the main street that runs all the way down Colonial Williamsburg. The Governor's Palace is one of the coolest things because of all the arms and swords that are around in the building, so that one's really fun. And then you actually come up from over here. Oops, my hair is in the way. You come up from over here to actually come into the historic section. So a lot of stuff to see here, a lot of fun to be had, and a lot of things to experience. So let's continue on. Normally this location has all kinds of other fun and goods for you to check out and buy and take home. It looks like right now the only one that's open is going to be this gift shop over here. Normally there's a little cafe in here for you to get sandwiches and some simple like grab and go snacks. That's not open at the moment. And then there's some family restrooms if you need bigger things because you need to nurse or change diapers. Let's go into the main area. But it's in 2 different areas.
So you can come through here and you can get tickets. You can get tickets for the whole triangle. You can get tickets for an annual pass. There's all kinds of awesome things you can get. What's really nice about getting the historic triangle bundle is that you are able to get a discount, and it's prepaid for Yorktown and Jamestown. So as far as the historic foundation sites, then yes. If you want to go out to Jamestown and see the national park site, that is going to be a different cost because it is in fact owned by a different entity.
Welcome to Colonial Williamsburg, home to the largest living history museum and 2 world-class art museums. There's no other place like it. I'm here to help you make the most of your visit with us. Whether you're a new visitor or a longtime friend, I can help you find what you're looking for.
You can go downstairs from here. A bit of wayfinding. This is where we came in. You can come down here and you can go downstairs to take a shuttle. They are requiring masks on the shuttle. However, if you are able to walk and you don't mind a little bit of exercise, I recommend coming out here.
So I actually like taking the walk, and the reason why is because you'll see in a second on the bridge heading towards Colonial Williamsburg, you actually go back in time. As you come back towards the visitor center, you go forward in time. But it's really fun because it just kind of helps set the mood and the experience and just really dive you into that period. Let's go back in time.
Looking down on Colonial Parkway. I really hope I didn't just get coffee all over me. I was trying to reach around to get my coffee and I was like, pop, magically made it to where the lid came off and got coffee on my arm, but I don't know. Is there anything on my side? We can't tell. That was my armpit. Also, I love that even the trash cans are kind of hidden. Like, that's awesome. It's partially for wildlife, but come on, it makes the aesthetics so much better. So, walking over, it is going to be hotter, keep that in mind. It's going to wear you out faster just because of the heat and humidity that you can experience here. But it's really pretty, and like I said, it's really fun to do the walk back in time. So if you have the time and you can do it and you are able, I would definitely recommend it. My favorite time that I would say to visit Virginia would be in October through early November, and in May, late April throughout May, maybe even into the first week or so of June. But if I had to pick fall or spring, I would definitely pick fall. The first half of my life I spent more around evergreen trees, so being able to live in a state like this where in October the trees are just so incredibly gorgeous, it's so beautiful. The golds and reds and amber and touches of green that are all mixed together in October are just absolutely beautiful and breathtaking. You can go down that way and it'll funnel you out to another part of the street up on the farther end of Dog Street. You could also come down here and it comes to a little bit more center. I'm gonna be finding the shade whenever possible because it is hot and humid. But yeah, I'm coming up on the Governor's Palace, and I'm going to probably find myself something to eat soon. I am also going to I'm gonna not check out the horse poo, but I am definitely going to find myself a snack and check out the military area. She said that there's a specific location that's just for military and veterans, and you can go back there and have a rest and have some water. And I think she said snacks, so we'll have to check that out later too. I am going to stand in the shade to get a tour into the governor's mansion, get some AC.
But it is a family home, and it is a government house, and the British call that a palace. Welcome to the Great Hall, and we have the parlor and the pantry. And it's 1775, so you see all the Lord's website. We put the entire house when we shut down last year. They were here a lot of short time. They got away with the big girl here. She was at home. And we regretted that she felt held and unsafe in this house.
Oh, I forgot you're not going upstairs. Oh, it's so pretty up there.
Available to you. You're part of the great British Empire. The world is smaller. Everything's available to take. And it's expected. And so you have King George III and Queen Charlotte's portraits in this room. House that has birdhouses and the
Thank you.
Those are the public restrooms. And we have the carriage house and stables. There's where this tree is blooming over here, and the only
Honest to goodness, like these sandals are super comfortable. They're from Charlie Stone, and I really, really, really like them. So I'm not worried about my all-day comfort. It's just about the rocks getting under your shoes. But yeah, much shorter tour than normal because they're not going upstairs in so many of the buildings, and I understand. But it's nice to see the bedrooms. So. I've always just wanted to be like, can I just go live in that little house right there? Just that little house right there. Can I have that one? Something about these places, I know the experience is supposed to help you feel like you're in the times, but man, it really does, and it just makes me want to maybe only live in it for about 15 minutes. I like modern conveniences, but it's definitely gorgeous. Coming up on one of my favorite places, but I'm pretty sure they're not letting anyone in just to protect the parish members and the parish itself. But it's one of the original buildings mostly, and there's a lot of people laid to rest here, and it's Burton Parish. So let me show you around. As suspected. It's too bad. Absolutely gorgeous. Green Hill is one of the many shops that you can get little trinkets at. They do tend to vary between the shops because some of them will be closer to certain tradesmen and then therefore offer those items.
They would carve these and use them to pass the time on ship. When they landed some foreign and distant place, oftentimes they would leave these behind with the population, and they would adopt them. Trying to defend them, something similar to this. Well, Shandy is. In the summer, maybe
bake this chocolate at home. It's so good to pop into banana bread, and especially around the holidays, pumpkin bread, because it has some spices in it. See? And it is so, so good.
Those fans are $4.
These soaps all smell really awesome. So if you look for anything, not necessarily to use, but I love using these as, oh my god, I can't think of the word, but I love putting them in my drawers to scent my undergarments and socks. They're just so much fun. But I also like that you can get powders. So lovely. So lovely. You can get carriage rides. They're all sold out for today. I haven't done the covered carriage, but I have done the open carriage. Either way, they're actually really, really nice. They take you around the bulk of the property, and they give you a tour and give you some really awesome information that you can't really get from a lot of the other locations. So I definitely recommend it if you can. Because this location is so much about like history and education, and a lot of nerds love coming here, right? Nerd in like a healthy way of you love education and learning and finding out new things and such. I'm getting so many compliments on my nerdy Disney skirt. It's pretty fantastic. I do love it though. It's all the stories, it's all the books, so it's nerdy but Disney, so it's fitting. And I just got told it's very fitting for the location, and I quite agree, which is why I wore it. So anyway, over here is the courthouse. One of my favorite locations. You get to see all kinds of guns. They'll do musket shows and gunpowder storage. It's pretty awesome. I always like seeing the muskets. Kaboom! Oh, kaboom! There was supposed to be. You will see these flags change throughout the year, from British to post-British colonization during the war. It's quite fun. I believe they shift in September. I'd have to look that up. I'm so hot. I'm so thirsty. I haven't had any water. Of course, my silly butt didn't bring my giant water bottle. Probably because it's giant. But back here, next to the silversmiths, there is a place called the Liberty Lounge. And if you are military, member current or previous, you can come in here and get yourself some water. I've never actually been in here before, so let's go check it out. It's not open. Turns out they were actually just bringing the water up. Someone opened the door right as I put the camera down, and I forgot they closed at 1 o'clock, so I think it was only 11 to 1 today. but look at all this, it is so hot. Ooh. But yeah, he hooked me up with a bottle of water, and he said you should probably, or no, he said we'll get you a bottle of water right now because because I think I think the people who volunteer are previous service members because they all have some kind of insignia on them, like a pin or something that shows their branch of service. But he said, no, really, like, we'll get you a bottle of water. She's coming up. She was like, hey, you want a bottle of water? I said, I'd really love it. Thank you. She said, no problem. She goes, oh, you're a Disney lover. Would you like to? And he says, and she's got red hair. I'm like, I didn't tell him that, but I'm like, it's fake. And he's like, do you want 10? So really nice people, really sweet. If you're previous military, please make sure that you check with the visitor center. A lot of times they will, especially if you tell them and you're getting your military discount and stuff for day tickets or trip tickets in general. But yes, if you come back here during their open hours, they will get you some water, snacks if they have them too, and they're really kind people. So you should check it out. That's one down. And thankfully I have a second one, so I'm good to go. I think because of the heat, I'm just not feeling hungry. That's actually not a good thing because I haven't had a whole lot to eat today. Like, nope, my stomach just went, you just gave me a lot of water and I could really use with some food. So yeah, like I don't think I've actually had anything today besides water and coffee. That's not healthy. I love this place. Really pretty stuff. I will pop in a picture. Those earrings my husband bought for me on our honeymoon weekend because we got married down here and then just spent a couple days hanging around the area. So yeah, good memories.
Again, enough hair to cover the binding at the top of the full length, and then we can style your hair to the proper fashion. And as I said, Mr. Washington chose to go with white because it shows up best by candlelight. We can go beyond that. Jeans.
If you are in need of assistance when it comes to stairs, they do have in a lot of locations around back, they do have options like this, a little lift that can get you up onto the same location. They will help you out. Just so you know, the reason why they will keep things like this in the back is because they are trying to keep modern technologies away from visual eye. There's on the main streets there are a lot of places where you can live in these houses. It's usually faculty and staff who get first opportunities to live in these houses, but if they are living in them, if they want to keep the windows and blinds open, visible to the inside of the establishments of the house, you actually have to make sure you have nothing of modern tech inside, because people are looking inside to see historic locations, historic buildings, so it takes away from that visual experience. So you either have to keep your shutters closed, or you have to not have anything modern out on your tables. So this is the Tavern. It's not in use right now. A lot of things are being cleaned and they're still bringing stuff back after COVID, so it's closed up. And again, the reasons for keeping the experience for the guests, they have the shutters closed so that it doesn't take away from that experience. Just like the chair. Can I have the chair? Another time that I would highly recommend coming to Williamsburg is actually around the holiday season. If you're anyone who loves holiday decorations and the festivities that go with that season, definitely come that time of year, because around all these entrances, I don't know if you can see there or not, but all these entrances will have wreaths on them and garland and flowers and different like berries and fruits of the season. So there might be things like acorns and apples, and it's so gorgeous. So we're gonna walk up to the Blacksmith. See if I'm making some stuff. It's pretty awesome. Still sanitizer in a lot of locations. I love all the blue private gardens and stuff back here. You can usually walk through most of them.
The smith here at the fire has been working on some hardware for the shoemakers. So she's making some nails right now. Previously she was working on
holes are for the spokes. That's what this part is. So the spokes are driven into those holes. And you see for every 2 spokes, you have one of these curves. The way we make those curves is we work with a pattern. So we take the pattern, put it onto a piece of wood, trace it out, and then we'll chop it out. So we're not bending anything in the shop. It's all getting carved out to shape. Because in a lot of cases it's very thick wood, it's really hard to bend. So it's a lot easier to carve it out of shape. And if you notice here, for every 2 spokes, we also attach them through that hole. Put a small dowel, and then around the wheel.
It is hot and most restaurants are not open except for that one, which it really explains why there's only, or why there is, most of the restaurants are not open. That explains why there was like a 2-hour wait at that location. But yes, I am hungry and tired, so I think I'm going to call it a day here at Colonial Williamsburg and go get myself some lunch. Thanks for tuning in. I hope you had fun. This was a little trip into Williamsburg, and I hope it encourages you to visit our historical sites. There's so much to see, especially here at Colonial Williamsburg in the Historic Triangle. Don't forget there's Jamestown and Yorktown within an easy 20-minute drive, an actual beautiful 20-minute drive from here. So if you're thinking about a road trip or a place to get away to, but you don't want to go to the parks, or maybe just history is your thing, it's definitely the place to go. Please don't forget to like this video if it was fun for you and it gave you a good idea of a place to go check out, and subscribe. I love sharing travel stuff, vintage inspired style, and motivation, because all these things to me help someone live a brilliant, bold, and beautifully empowered life. Cheers.